Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new Explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. Today, we're breaking down an incredibly powerful framework for personal transformation, and it's drawn directly from Priyanka Chopra's highly acclaimed motivational speech on self-education. If you've ever felt, kind of stuck in a rut or like you just haven't quite tapped into what you're truly capable of, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to visually deconstruct her fearless philosophy on why continuous, relentless self-education is literally the ultimate separator between living a mediocre life and a truly extraordinary one.
Her central message is just crystal clear. You hold the key to your future. Educate yourself every single day and unlock your potential. And listen, this isn't just some catchy bumper sticker slogan. It is the absolute core of her message. It really sets this urgent, energetic tone for everything we're going to cover today. The power isn't held by your boss, it's not held by your current circumstances, and it's definitely not held by your past. It is entirely in your hands right now. But unlocking that door, that requires daily action. It demands a massive commitment to educating yourself, not just once in a while, but every single day. So let's break down exactly how you put this into practice. Let's move to Pillar 1 and see how this builds. It's all about the beginner mindset. Getting comfortable with being a total novice is the absolute foundation for everything that follows. Now, what's really interesting here is how we have to reframe failure. One of the biggest roadblocks to growth is, well, it's our own ego. We absolutely hate feeling like we don't know what we're doing. But on day one, you're the beginner. And frankly, you have to be. Literally every expert started right there. But fast forward to month 6, this is the messy middle. This is where you're probably wanting to pull your hair out, wondering why you even started in the first place. You are failing forward. Chopra is very clear on this. Failure is not something to be feared, it's not something to be avoided, and it is definitely not the end of the road. It's a mandatory active lesson on the journey. You just can't jump from day 1 to year 5 without going through those embarrassing failures in month 6. Reframing failure as data, as a stepping stone, is what ultimately creates the expert, because if you aren't willing to be a beginner, you're never going to evolve.
And that brings us to Pillar 2, elevate your inner circle. Because honestly, you can have the best mindset in the world, but if your environment is dragging you down, your growth is just going to be stunted.
So, the crucial point is that who you surround yourself with is non-negotiable. If you're the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. On one hand, we have mediocrity. That means staying in your comfort zone, avoiding challenges, and just surrounding yourself with people who accept the status quo. But on the other hand, we have success, actively seeking out smarter peers and fully embracing the friction of growth. Chopra highlights the immense power of placing yourself around people who elevate your thinking, people who push you to operate at a much higher frequency. Your inner circle acts like a gravitational pull. So you have to ask yourself, which reality are the people in your life pulling you toward?
To ensure you're actually heading toward that success, here are 3 highly actionable habits you can start today. First, ask bold questions. Don't be afraid to sound uninformed. Remember that beginner mindset we just talked about? Second, remain endlessly curious. Look at the world with a real sense of wonder and a genuine desire to figure out how things work. And third, engage actively with the world. Don't just be a passive observer in your own life. Get out there, test your theories, and interact. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're daily muscles you need to exercise to build a truly fearless, growth-oriented mindset.
Which leads directly into Pillar 3, education beyond the books. True self-education begins the exact moment your formal schooling ends.
When we hear the word education, most of us immediately picture classrooms, textbooks, and formal degrees. But there is a massive difference between being book smart, which is relying purely on formal education and memorizing facts, and being life smart. Book smarts are great for passing tests, sure, but life smarts? That's what actually pays the bills and builds your character. This is where curiosity, failing forward, and real-world engagement really come into play. To truly unlock your potential, you can't just read a textbook on how to swim. You actually have to jump into the water and get wet. Being life smart means recognizing that the world around you is the most comprehensive university you'll ever attend, assuming you're paying attention. It means consciously stepping outside to constantly challenge your fears and redefine your own limits.
I want to pause here for a second. I want to pose a question to you directly, and I want this to be a real moment of friction for you. How much do you invest in your knowledge? Think about it honestly. Where do you spend your time? Where are you spending your money? Where is your mental energy going every single week? Are you investing it into things that depreciate over time, or are you investing it into the only asset that can literally never be taken away from you? Your mind.
And this brilliantly illustrates a really powerful metaphor from Chopra. Think about investing in fashion versus investing in knowledge. Fashion, or honestly any material possession, is temporary. It goes out of style, it wears down, and eventually it just ends up shoved in the back of a closet somewhere. Knowledge, however, that is permanent. It compounds over time. Investing in your own mind, in your own self-education, is the only true way to build a lasting legacy. Because every new skill, every new insight is a permanent upgrade to your internal operating system.
Now we reach a really fascinating pivot. Pillar 4, master knowledge by teaching.
You might think self-education is this solitary act, just you hoarding information in a dark room somewhere. But the ultimate test of whether you truly understand something isn't your ability to memorize it, it's your ability to effectively share it with someone else. Here's exactly how this mastery loop works. Step 1. You learn a new concept. Step 2. You apply it to your own life. You get life smart with it. Step 3. And this is the magic step. You teach it to others. When you have to break down a complex idea to explain it to someone else, you very quickly identify the gaps in your own knowledge, and filling those gaps solidifies the information in your brain. And that naturally leads to step 4, achieving mastery. The beautiful, counterintuitive logic here is that giving your wisdom away is actually the exact mechanism that cements it permanently in your own mind.
Which brings us to our final, critical core concept. Pillar 5, commit to lifelong growth. The absolute biggest mistake you can make is thinking there's a finish line.
There is no graduation day from self-improvement. Success is not a static destination where you finally arrive, kick up your feet, and just pack up your bags. Your potential is not a fixed container. It expands every single time you push its boundaries. So I'm going to leave you with one final, hard-hitting question to think about. What will you learn today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. You hold the key to your future. You have the blueprint to step out of your comfort zone, embrace that beginner mindset, fail forward, and elevate your inner circle. The journey to unlocking your true potential starts right now, with a single decision to educate yourself today. Go out there, conquer a new challenge. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.